everybody, Hobbyist here, and it has come to my attention via Moo Moo Cheese that it is my 1000th episode is coming up soon. Actually, this episode right here, this is the 1000th episode of my channel, the Hobbyist channel. Why? How time flies whenever you're having fun. So to celebrate that, I didn't really have time to do a giveaway or anything. But I will just I'm going to show some autographs I've gotten at the Comic Cons. I haven't done that before, so I'm just going to do that. I'm going to start off with the cartoons. This is Space Ghost. Can't remember the guy's name who plays Space Ghost, but he was a pretty cool dude. And this is from the very first Comic Con we ever went to. It says, "Greetings, Citizen Chris." Chris laughed so hard in the boardroom that he squirted out fiber twins. Squirted. Yeah. And bacon patties. And that was the very first Comic Con. This is also the very first Comic Con. Was Skeletor. I remember him. He's Alan Oppenheimer. He is also the voice of Falcor. So if you've watched Never Ending Story, he's the voice of Falcor and Skeletor. So that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool, pretty cool, pretty cool. 1,000 episodes. That is pretty wild. I didn't know I had 1,000 videos. This is I want to do a shout out to Oddball. In your time, this is March 17th. It's St. Patrick's Day. So hope you got green on today. Another cartoon is Peter Cullen. Optimus Prime, roll out. Awesome. This was like 2019 was when this was, because we had Optimus Prime coming in 2019, and then Megatron was supposed to come in 2020, and we know how that went. That did not happen. And another cartoon is Keith David. He's the president on Rick and Morty. And if you don't know who Keith David is, he is a actor that isn't oodles and caboodles of stuff. If you want to use Kevin Bacon, Keith David is better than Kevin Bacon, because Keith David is in so many movies. He can even get you to They Live, which brings me to the next one, is They Live. And he is in that movie with Rowdy Roddy Piper. Woohoo! So, whatever year this was, I can't remember what year this was, but there was a thing called Crossfire Wrestling. Oh, it's 2013. Crossfire Wrestling. They had Rowdy Roddy Piper come in. And my friend Rocky, who is from Rocky's Treasure Hunt, and he says, Roddy Piper's going to be there. You want to go? I said, yeah, I want to go. We got an autograph. I think it was like $25 for an autograph with Roddy Piper. We got a picture with him, and my wife got a picture with him, and everybody got a picture with him. Everybody and Roddy Piper was so awesome at that event. There was probably 1,000 people there, and he was signing autographs even after the event started. He was probably signing autographs 30 or 45 minutes into the event. That's how cool he was. He probably made a lot of money that night. So, Roddy Piper is awesome, and he was an awesome dude. And if you ever got to meet him, you would have known that. He probably wasn't very fun to wrestle with, but he was quite an awesome dude to meet in person. And then we got Lita. This was also from our very first Comic Con. We got Lita. Lita was one of my favorite female wrestlers at the time, and actually ever. Her and Trish Stratus. And Trish Stratus was another one I wanted to get that was going to be in 2020 that did not happen. So, yeah. But there is Lita. Lita. Then we got Ron Simmons, part of Harlem Heat. and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. He's in the Wrestling Hall of Fame 2009. This was the same year that I've got an autograph of. Well, we'll wait for later for that. We'll wait for later for that. And then we got Mankind, Mick Foley. Got to meet Mick Foley. I think, what year was that? I think that was like 2018 was Mick Foley. It might have been 2019 as well. Can't really remember. No, I think it was. Oh, it might have been 2021 was Mick Foley. And then we got another one of my favorites, Jake the Snake Roberts. Woohoo! Now, Jake the Snake Roberts was supposed to come the month after Roddy Piper and the Crossfire thing, so we pre-bought tickets for $60 a piece, and the company went under. So yay, we lost $60, but we did get to meet Roddy Piper, and so I told Rocky that that was worth $1,000 to me to meet Roddy Piper. So yeah, we lost $60, but we did get to meet Roddy Piper, and eventually I did get to meet Jake the Snake Roberts too. So that was super duper awesome. I would like to meet Diamond Dallas Page too, but he wasn't on the card with Jake the Snake. Next, this was just a few years ago. We got Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Ho! Now, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, he was a great dude too. He was fun to talk to. He almost gave me this autograph because his card swapper was not working in the basement of the Comic-Con. Because the Comic-Con is there's the ground level, and then all the autographs are in the lower level, which is basically underground and concrete. So he couldn't really get a signal. He came that close to giving me the autograph. He said, "All right, just give it to him," and then it went through. But you know, that was super. He was a super awesome dude. If you ever get to meet him, please do it. He's a great dude. Another super awesome dude. This is another one from our very first Comic-Con. The one, the only, Henry Winkler, the Fonz. The Fonz is an awesome dude. If you've never met Henry Winkler, go to it. He'll talk your ear off. He'll talk to anybody. Just watch what was that show? Better Late Than Never. He will talk to anybody. So go check him out. If you ever get to meet him, please do so, because he is an awesome dude. On back. This is Henry Cho. Henry Cho. He is a comedian. He's done a little bit of TV, but he came to our town like last year or year before, and he done a comedy skit at our local theater, and we got VIP passes, got a picture with him, and met him. We've always wanted to go to him because we always thought he was funny, even before we knew that he came to our town. He comes to our town about once a year, so it's pretty awesome. And he's pretty funny to watch. He's pretty clean too. He's a Christian comedian, so it'll be pretty clean there. All right, we've got Richard Dean Anderson, Mr. Anderson, star of MacGyver. That's probably where most people know him from, and he's also star of Stargate. He's the one we drove. I think this was 2014. We drove 12 hours to meet him. He was in Maryland. There's a Shore Leave thing there, or a thing called Shore Leave. It's a Comic-Con called Shore Leave, and he was there, and that was the only stateside visit. Well, it was the second stateside visit. He only did two, and one of them had already passed. And that was the only other one he did. So we went to that one and met him, and he was a super awesome dude. We talked to him about 45 minutes because it was Friday, no one was there. He was there, and we talked to him forever. And I got to meet him again at the Knoxville Comic-Con, but it was, his handlers were so strict then that you didn't get to talk to him like we did in the store, Shore Leave. And here's another one of my favorites, Lee Majors. The $8 million or $6 million man, and the Fall Guy. Fall Guy is what I remember him from, and also the $8 million man too, or $6 million man. I don't know why I keep saying $8 million, but he was pretty cool to meet too. He was one of my favorite actors as a kid too, because he's in Fall Guy and the $6 Million Man. And here we go with Edward James Olmos. He'd done the whole Creed. So Say We All. This is Battlestar Galactica. I know he's in more than that, but that's what I went there for, is because he was in Battlestar Galactica, and he was the captain of the ship in Battlestar Galactica. I still want to get more Battlestar Galactica autographs, but I haven't really seen them at any Comic Cons. I can't remember who he is. This is the guy. I can't remember who he's from. But this one was for Kim. This one was for Kim. It says Chris and Kim, but this one was for Kim because her dad always thought that he was saying their name in that movie, and it was pretty funny. This one you'll know, it's Lando Calrissian. It's Billy D. Williams. He was from my very first Comic-Con too. He was also the very first Star Wars autograph I've ever gotten. Probably the only Star Wars autograph I've gotten. So that was pretty cool to meet someone. He was all metal. He was playing Candy Crush with Norman Reedus whenever we were at that Comic-Con. Candy Crush was still very big at the time, and it was super duper awesome. And here we go. Who's on the back here? Oh yeah, Howling Mad Murdoch. Woohoo! What is his name again? Dwight Schultz. Dwight Schultz. He was Howling Mad Murdoch, and it looks like they airbrushed that out up there. He's from the A-Team. If you don't remember the A-Team, you probably might remember the movie. But he was the one that played Howling Mad Murdoch. And I got my picture in the van. The A-Team van was there, so I got my picture in the A-Team van holding a AK-47 and with Dwight Schultz, and that was super duper awesome too. We're going through years here. They're all scattered. They're in order of the well, they're not really in any particular order, but you know, pretty soon you'll see there are some that are in order. There is Winston Zeddemore, Ernie Hudson. Of course, you got to get the Ghostbusters autograph whenever you see a Ghostbusters person. This was also, I think, a very first Comic-Con too, maybe the second one, that he was there, and it was super awesome to meet him too. We didn't really talk to him that much because there was like our first Comic-Con was like we didn't really talk to them that much. We just went on to the next one, the next one, the next one, but we didn't really know how to act around them either. But as we got more and more inclined to do so, we talked to them more and more. And by the time we got to this guy, I don't know how to say his name, but it's Data from the Goonies. He is now an Academy Award winning actor, so that is super awesome now. Congratulations to him. He was also Short Round on Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. We asked him what it was like to work with Harrison Ford in Indiana Jones, and it was fun. Also, at the time, there was Brent Spiner was there too, for the other Data from Star Trek: The Next Generation, and we'll see him later. But he was there too, and we was like, he was Data before Brent Spiner was Data, so they had them right next to each other, and Kim was like, "Man, they put you right next to each other. You can have the double Data plan." And Brent Spiner did not know that he was Data before he was Data, and it was pretty funny to see that conversation between Data and Data. And now we're on the Goonies kicks. Hey, you guys! I don't know who this one is. It's for Kim. She might have got her own one from him, maybe. I don't know. But that's not all the Goonies people. That's not Corey Feldman, is it? Oh, it might be Corey Feldman. It does kind of look like Corey Feldman. Maybe that is Corey Feldman. So it has to be Corey Feldman. Corey Feldman was a pretty cool dude too. I did a whole skit with him about Goonies 2. I think I did that video. I recorded it. I don't know if it happened or not. So I'm pretty sure that did happen. But he was pretty cool dude to talk to. He talked to the kids about karate and all that stuff too, which was pretty cool too as well. So that was Corey Feldman. We were supposed to meet Sean Austin that last year, but we could not get close to Sean Austin because of the Lord of the Rings people had that line backed up 15 quadrillion miles. But next, we got Chips. We've got Punch and John, Larry Wilcox, and Eric Estrada. They're pretty cool dudes. When we met them, this is like our second or third Comic Con. We talked to them. If you don't know, Larry Wilcox is a Marine vet. So if you ever see him or meet him, thank him for his service. We did that. We thanked him for his service. We kidded around with Eric Estrada. Kim was pregnant with Kashka at the time, our first kid, and we like we kidded with him, and was like, yeah, it's not his. And several years later, after Andy was born, I guess it was Andy. She was pregnant with Andy. Several years later, we got a picture of them with Andy holding this picture. No, holding the picture of us with them, which was pretty cool that they would do that. So yeah, if you ever meet them, they're pretty cool people to talk to as well. Continue with the Chips theme is Robert Pine. That's Chris Pine's dad. If you don't know who Robert Pine is, he's Chris Pine's dad. He was the sergeant on Chips. He was a pretty cool dude to do. Pretty cool dude to talk to as well. He was fun to talk to. I would suggest if you get to meet him as well. The whole Chips cast was pretty awesome. And then we got Kevin Sorbo. This was from our first Comic-Con as well. This was one we actually stopped and talked to because his line was pretty short. This is from a show called Andromeda, which is one of my favorite shows. It was a pretty good show considering it was on WGN and didn't get any funding. So that's the whole reason that it went off the air, is it ran out of funding. It was a great show. Kevin Sorbo was an awesome dude. He was very talkative. He would talk to you. He's another Christian actor that was pretty awesome. So if you ever get to meet Kevin Sorbo, please do it. He is awesome. Now, back during the Walking Dead craze, so there's Norman Reedus. I talked about him earlier. There's Norman Reedus and Billy D. Williams. Norman Reedus also plays Candy Crush, or did whenever we first met him. This is also from our first Comic Con. He was a pretty awesome dude too. He couldn't really talk that much because the line was so super long. Of course it was. We was in the VIP lines. He was the very first one we used VIP tickets for. That's where we learned always buy the VIP tickets at Comic Con because they are super helpful and awesome. So he was fun to talk to, even though we didn't get to talk to him that much. He did interact with fans, and he was a very nice guy, but very limited time with him. This is Christopher Lloyd. This is from the movie Clue, but most people remember him from Back to the Future. I didn't want to get a Back to the Future autograph. I wanted to get it from Clue because I like Clue. If you ever get the chance to meet Christopher Lloyd, he's getting up there. So it was very limited. It was kind of like whenever we met Stan Lee. I've got a Stan Lee autograph, but it's framed and on the wall, so I didn't get to break it out. But he could only sign so many autographs, and so you had to buy it. And if you can tell, his handwriting he's getting older, so it's getting hard for him to sign stuff. So, but that's Christopher Lloyd, and it was super duper fast with him. He didn't shake hands or anything, kind of like Stan Lee. Stan Lee only did fist bumps as well. And here we go. We got Dr. Cox from Scrubs. I can't remember his real name. It seemed like it's Tim something other, Tim something other. But I loved him as Dr. Cox in Scrubs. He's also been in some other stuff like He was in Office Space as one of the auditors, but he always plays the same type of character. He's I loved him as Dr. Cox though. He's super fun to see. And here we go. Can't remember his name either, but he was the dark passenger on Dexter. He was also the dad from Psych. He put the good luck because we wanted to get all three of them to autograph that picture, so he signed all over it. Maybe he's just saying good luck because he doesn't sign autographs. I don't know, but it was we love Psych, and so when we saw a Psych guy there, so we want that autograph, and we wish the other two we could get the other two, but we don't know if that's going to happen or not. They haven't done any Comic-Cons, so I don't know. So our second Comic-Con, there was a bunch of Firefly people. Well, not really a bunch. Nathan Fillion was supposed to be there, but he canceled. But we did still have Adam Baldwin, who played Jane. And I don't know. Oh, it's not on that one. It's not the next one. We also did get the girl in there too. But I think it's on further back. I don't know why it's further back. Oh, we actually got them. We figured out that they signed and talked to you more if you actually had them sign the pictures that you were in them with. So we started doing that, and so that's why that picture's not in here. It actually shows us in it. So, there's Adam Baldwin, and then before we started going to Comic-Cons around here, we went to Comic-Cons in Greenville, and my wife's favorite show and a favorite soap opera was Days of Our Lives, and they had these little fundraisers in Greenville, South Carolina, and called the Eastonites or something like that. And my wife wanted to go to these, and we went one year as Regular Purple. She was part of a group on Yahoo Groups, and they actually sponsored the event the second year we went. This is from that second year. This is Matt Ashford. He played Jack Devereaux on Days of Our Lives, and he was the coolest one. He was the coolest guy. He would talk to you like crazy, and that may be because he was her group sponsored the thing. I don't know, but it was pretty awesome. This is Kirsten, not Kirsten Storms, but Kirsten. What is her last name? Rendon. Kirsten Ridden. She was in Days of Our Lives very briefly. She also starred in Sons of Anarchy. She was somebody in Sons of Anarchy, they were telling me, but I can't really remember her name on that show. But we did meet her. We also met Alison Sweeney, which is like Sammy, which is one of the biggest name there. This is Martha. She played Belle on Days of Our Lives. I wanted to meet Kirsten Storms because she was my favorite Belle, but she was the one that was playing Belle at the time, so that's the one I got the autograph of. And another Days of Our Lives character, but is also a Star Trek character, is John Delancey. He was in Star Trek as Q, or Star Trek The Next Generation as Q, but he was also in Days of Our Lives as Eugene, and he was a time traveler, so he made a time machine in Days of Our Lives, and ran off in the time machine. That's how they got him off the show. He went off in the time machine, and he did come like 10 or 15 years later, and it was funny. But he was a time traveler in Days of Our Lives, which is super duper awesome, because time travel in Days of Our Lives. So now we're getting into the Star Trek. This is Robert Picardo. He played the Doctor on on Star Trek Voyager. He actually had a shirt that said "My favorite Doctor is," and it had Matt Smith on it at the time, which is really funny. And he asked who my favorite Doctor was, and I said Tom Baker. I should have said him, but I'm not going to lie. Tom Baker's my Doctor. Even if in Star Trek he's probably my Doctor, but in Doctor Who, Tom Baker is my doctor, which I have an autograph of him too, but it's also on the wall, and I don't want to get it down. But I asked him, he is also in Gremlins, and I asked him what it was like to kiss the female Gremlin, and he said she was a pretty good kisser. Alright, and the next Star Trek is Gates McFadden. Gates McFadden, she was Dr. Crusher on Star Trek The Next Generation. She was alright. She was alright to talk to. But you could tell she was one of the bigger cast and didn't really want to be in Knoxville. Next, we have another big actor from Star Trek. See the thing going on right now? We've got Jonathan Frakes, number 1. I still want to get Patrick Stewart's, but Patrick Stewart don't do that many anymore. But there's Jonathan Frakes. Went on to direct a lot of stuff, and he's tall. He's a tall dude. But he was a pretty nice guy to talk to. So if you get a chance, go meet him. And then we got Brent Spiner. This is whenever I was a draftsman, and he said he wanted to draw the smoke coming out, so he signed the name Brent Spiner. He played Data, and we were talking to him about him and Data on the Double Data plan. They were talking to each other, and he says, "I'm Data. I hear you played Data, and then I played Data." So it was pretty fun to get across fandoms conversation to go on between Data and Data. Next we have Michael Dorn, aka Worf. So we got to meet Michael Dorn at the same time we got to meet Brent Spiner. They were there together. I think Gates McFadden and Jonathan Frakes were there together, but they wasn't the same time as Spiner and Worf. So this is Michael Dorn. Don't need to take that with me. Next we have another first year Comic-Con. This is Jason Marsden. He played somebody in Star Trek, so that's the one I got him from. But he also played Goofy's son in the Goofy movie. He is more of a voice actor than he was an actor. So he was a pretty cool dude, fun to talk to, and he would hang out with you if you wanted to hang out. So if you ever get to meet him and want to have a good time, go see him. Next we got Armin Sherman. He played Quark on Deep Space Nine. He also played the principal in Buffy the Vampire Slayer too, eventually. Or maybe, yeah, it was the principal in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And he was also a very nice person. We met him a couple times. He wrote a book, and all that. We talked to him about his book, and we've met him a couple times, and he is a pretty fun person to talk to too. If you get a chance to, just go ahead and talk to him. He will talk to you. Next one is one that probably will not talk to you that much. This one is William Shatner. William Shatner, we met him 2021 because COVID was still bad, and we had to have glass between us when we took our picture, which was awful, and had glass between you when he did autographs. But he did autograph my hand, so it was pretty awesome. I got a video of that. If I can put the clip in there, I will. He autographed my hand, and he was okay to talk to. I mean, it's not like he was snobby or anything. And I do have a whole clip of him talking at a Comic-Con, so I probably won't put that in here because I don't want the video to be like 3 hours long. But there is the William Shatner autograph. And then we've got George Takei, aka Sulu. I think he was Sulu. I had him put oh my on there for Bowman Ultra and Fleer, oh my. So I told him that, yeah, I've got a series on my channel that calls Bowman Ultra and Fleer, oh my, and it uses oh my from his quote. That's actually where I came up with oh my from. It was from him. But that's George Kai. He was okay to talk to. I think I've met him twice actually, and he was okay to talk to. And last but not least is Lou Ferrigno. Lou Ferrigno, he has beautiful penmanship. He's got great penmanship. He's kind of deaf though, so you have to talk pretty loud to him. But our thing with Lou Ferrigno is we paid $60 for a picture with him with our camera, and the woman taking the picture with our camera dropped our camera, and we got pretty upset about that. So we had to take the pictures with our cell phone, and they didn't care any one bit that they broke our camera. And so Lou Ferrigno, it may not be any Lou Ferrigno's fault, but it's kind of tainted that Comic-Con for us because his handler dropped our camera and broke it. But the silver lining with that is we had to use our phones for that whole Comic-Con because he was like the first picture. But we did send off for a replacement camera because it was still under warranty, and got a brand new camera that was better than the one before. So silver lining with that. And that is pretty much the last one I can do, because the last ones have the kids' names in them and or pictures of us with the actors. So that pretty much ends this episode. I'd like to thank everybody for watching. It's amazing that I've got 1,000 episodes now. I know this is super duper long, but it was fun for me to do. I've been wanting to do this for a long time. I'd like to thank everybody for watching. If you have subscribed, thank you very much for subscribing. If you have not subscribed, that button's down below. Please give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, and or a comment. Check out the comments because everybody in the comments is cool. Click on that bell if you want to be alerted to our next video. And once again, everybody, thanks for watching. And I'm amazed we got 1,000 episodes. And we'll see you next time.